Hello guys, Crispy here and welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm gonna be testing the GeForce GTX 1080 Ti in Cyberbug 2077. This one is the Gigabyte OC model of the card. We're running the latest Nvidia drivers, 471.41 at the time of recording this video, and I am using a Ryzen 9 5900X and 32 gigabytes of RAM with it, so there's no CPU or RAM bottlenecks, of course. So let's get right into the game, shall we? First of all, let's go over the settings. I'm playing at 1080p resolution. We're also going to test this one at 1440p and 4K because, well, this is a quite capable GPU, and when it released in 2017, it was actually a 4K gaming card. Some people called it that, at least. We're running on the Ultra settings preset right now using high textures. Of course, we have 11 gigabytes of VRAM with this GPU, so we can use the textures on maximum. I'm just going to disable motion blur here because I don't really like that effect, you know, and let's disable the fidelity effects because we don't want any resolution scaling for now. All right, so 1080p ultra settings. Wow, I actually didn't expect the frame time graph to be that smooth because it's usually a stuttery mess, this game, but it is smooth even though we are below 60 frames per second, so that's really good to see. Of course, it's not 60 FPS, but it is ultra settings after all, and this game is just completely broken, you know. It's Cyberbug, so yeah. What the hell? Did you see that person right there? Wait a second, is he walking? Yes, he's walking on air. Yeah, so that's why I call it Cyberbug, if you were wondering. What the heck is happening? Alright, and he just does that, of course, goes back to his life. Alright, guys, let's keep on moving here, shall we? Let's find some more bugs around this beautiful world. It's blinking a little bit sometimes, by the way. Yeah, if you want to play this game at 1080p resolution, ultra settings is actually pretty decent. It's averaging around 60 FPS. If you have a factory OC'd model of this card, more than this one, like a Strix version, for example, it will perform better and it will probably get 60 FPS on average instead of 57 right there. So keep that in mind, okay? It's a playable experience overall. I would probably choose to lower the settings just a little bit at 1080p because I prefer that smoother 60 plus FPS experience, especially in a game that's first person. If you get out of the car, you get more FPS, by the way. As you can see, it's in the 60s, it still drops into the 50s, but let's try it out at the high settings now. Disable motion blur once again. Everything is still the same, and by the way, you don't need to restart to apply the settings in this game. That's a very nice thing for benchmarking. What the hell happened there? I'm so confused. Like, this game is so weird at times. Right, so we gained about what, 5, maybe like 4 to 5 FPS, I guess. It's still dropping into the 50s. This street, by the way, is pretty demanding as well. So that's to be expected, to get like 50-ish. Still not too bad, still playable completely, you know, 100%, considering it's Cyberbug. It's actually doing a good job for being an older card, but still, you know, it's a 1080 Ti, so it should have been able to play this game better. If only Cyberbug developers or CD Projekt Red would optimize this game properly, you know, and if only they waited another year, for example, to properly optimize it, I think everybody would be happy about that. You know, like that, those weapons, for some reason, there are weapons in the ground right there. Like, what is happening? This, like, I don't know. I've never seen a game with all of these problems. I guess I'll take these weapons. I've never seen this car. What the hell? This is beautiful, actually. Okay, I will definitely want a thumbnail with this one, if I manage to not break it further than this. I am a pretty bad driver in Cyberbug. I hate the driving mechanics here. They don't feel smooth. I don't know, but is that a good thumbnail, guys? You tell me. Yeah. Okay, anyway, we gained around 4 FPS on average here in this area. Not too bad. Unfortunately, it still drops from from 60. I think my 5700 XT was doing a better job in this game, probably because this is a DX12 title and it runs better on newer architecture of GPUs. Yeah, this is a beautiful one. Anyway, let's stop it there. We are now above 60 on average, and let's try out medium settings now. The motion blur is already turned off, so we don't need to mess around with anything else. Alright, this might be the 60 plus FPS experience all of the time. The 1% lows are also very much under control. We're getting lower 60s now, but it's not dropping. So if you really want to get 60 plus FPS all of the time, I think medium settings doesn't look bad at all, and it will provide that experience. So it will look great on a native 1080p resolution, and it will be buttery smooth, of course. Frame time graph is a lot better than the last time that I tested this game, that's for sure. So they are improving something, slowly but surely, they are improving something, okay? VRAM is completely fine as well, no problems there with the high textures. Yeah, driving around this roundabout, which is like arguably one of the most intensive areas in this game. What happened? What did I do? What the hell? Okay. Well, that's weird. I'm just gonna kill these guys. Alright. Let's go. Alright, let's set it back to ultra settings right now. Disable that motion blur effect. And it's now set to 1440p resolution. So let's see how it does at ultra settings and 1440p. It's, yeah, I don't think it's running that well. As you can see, if you lock it to 30, well, this might be a decent experience, but again, the first-person aspect of this game is not really that enjoyable with 30 FPS, in my opinion at least. If you're running with a controller, for example, you might get by, but mouse and keyboard, 30 FPS, first-person, like shooting people and stuff, I don't think it's a very good experience, you know? Stuttering a little bit as well. Oh god, there is a fight going on right here. So I'm gonna try the first-person perspective with these FPS, which I don't feel is gonna go very well, but yeah. There we go, one down. It's playable, right? But it could be better. You can definitely feel the slowdown here at 30 FPS playing with the guns. Still not bad, you could get used to it, definitely. A lot of people play games at 30-something FPS, and it's pretty stuttery for sure. 31 FPS there. Doesn't seem to be dropping from 30, although our 1% lows suggest so, because it's stuttering a little bit. I don't know why I don't like to play this game at 30-something FPS. It just feels way too stuttery to me. So let's drop it down to high settings here at 1440p. Oh, that motion blur is enabled. I'll turn that off. Okay, high settings preset. Still in the 30s, unfortunately. It's a little bit too bad. It's very dark right now there. Okay, that's weird. 40s, hitting 40s right now. 1% lows are above 30. Not sure if they will stay like that. What the hell did the car jumping around? It's so weird. The physics in this game are just totally broken. But let's move away from this area now and see our averages. So it's more often than not at 40-something FPS, isn't it? At least in less intensive areas like this one. Yeah, it's not too bad. If you locked it, for example, to 35, it would be a better experience than ultra settings, for sure. I guess if you have a 1440p monitor and you are all about that graphical fidelity in Cyberbug, I think it's good. High settings at 1440p. I'm gonna stop it there now for high settings, and we're gonna do medium at 1440p and try to achieve those 60 frames. Oh, it's much closer now. Yes, for sure. Although this is a less intensive area again, so it's probably gonna drop into the lower 40s. Possibly high 30s. That's a massive stutter right there, by the way. Whenever we are by that roundabout. Is that a lens flare? What the hell? Okay, there are lens flares in this game. I didn't know. Oh, sorry. Oh, yes, this site is also pretty interesting. As you can see, tons of detail right here. Oh, okay, yep. It's not as intensive as the other roundabout, but it's still pretty decent for benchmarking, I guess. It's beautiful, that's for sure. And I'll try to find the other place. I think it's, yeah, it's this way. This is the intensive road. Maybe it's not as intensive anymore. I don't know. It used to be really intensive in other GPUs that I tested. Mid 40s. It doesn't seem like it's gonna drop from 40 frames per second. So this is a much more stable experience for sure. I could see myself playing like this. It's a lot better, especially in first person, to get 40 plus FPS or around 50 on average than 30-ish. So I'd play this game at 1440p medium settings. I think it's a good balance between visuals and performance. The textures are still on high settings, so they still look good, and it performs great here at 1440p medium. Now, if you want to play on low, I wouldn't, because it will look really bad, as you can see. Yeah, there are no reflections, or they're pretty low quality now. You will probably get 60 plus, maybe not. 1% lows are already below 60 frames, and this isn't even the intensive area, so I don't know if it's possible for you to get 60 plus all of the time at 1440p native resolution. Unfortunately, Cyberbug is not really that well optimized, as you can see. It does drop from 60. I've seen like 56, 59 right there. It's not even the intensive roundabout. 3840 by 2160, low settings to start off this resolution. It's already in the 30s. I think at medium settings, it will drop from 30 frames, guys. Yep. Not good. Not very good. Again, the frame times are not perfect. I can feel some frame skipping and stuff. Yeah, it's all right. If you lock it at 30, it could be possible to play like this with a controller or something. Let's try medium. Oh boy, yeah, it's already below 30, well below 30. So 4K in Cyberbug with a 1080 Ti, just forget it. Okay, guys, it's not gonna happen. It's good for screenshots. You can still drive around and take some beautiful screenshots for sure. But for actually playing the game, stick to the lower resolutions. It's gonna run great at 1440p and 1080p. So no need to put yourselves through this experience. This is horrible, basically. High motion blur as well. Yeah. Oh boy, below 20 FPS. It's pretty rough. Okay, it's pretty rough. Let's do ultra just for fun, and max motion blur as well, because why the heck not? Edit gets teens. Yep. So that's been it, my friends. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hope it was informative and helpful and entertaining to watch as well. Don't forget to drop a like down below and maybe leave a comment. That always helps, you know. So yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. As always, I love you all. Bye-bye.